Hello everyone, it's Olivia here, aka Story Minded, and I just wanted to do a really quick book recommendation video. This is Stories of Your Life and Others by Chiang. It's a short story collection that has very scientific themes running throughout all of them, connecting all the stories together, as well as elements of psychology and society, and it was just a really amazing collection to read. I really enjoyed, well, there's 3 stories in here that really sort of stood out for me. One of my favourite ones in this collection was the first one, called The Tower of Babylon, and that's a really interesting story, like a retelling of the Tower of Babylon, and this whole idea that these group of people are trying to reach Heaven's Vault, and it's taken their ancestors years and years to build this tower, and it's about this group, this community that are living, that are actually living on the tower, and just the whole idea of like trying to reach God. And it was just a really interesting story, and I really liked the ending. The ending satisfied me quite a lot. Another story in there, I'm just trying to double check the titles. It's towards the back of the book. Hell is the Absence of God. That's a story about these angel visitations that either create miracle cures or they create pain, and it's all about like the idea of why do innocent people, if God exists, why do innocent people suffer? And that was a really powerful story, and I finished it today, and that was one of the stories I finished today, and it was I was gripped. I just had to keep reading to find out what happened. And then one of the other stories that I really loved was the last one, which I've just finished even, sorry. Liking What You See, a documentary, and it's about this, I don't know what to call it, it's like a reprogramming of the brain called caliagnosia, and I'm not sure if, I think it's sort of made up but based on a real thing, and it's to do with, it eliminates people's predispositions to sort of value people based on beauty and aesthetics and all that sort of idea. And it was a really good story, and it's done like a documentary, so it's like all these different quotes from people, and not just quotes but like their accounts of their experiences and people who are against it, and that was a really interesting story. I really enjoyed that one. But I really recommend this book if you like sort of sci-fi stories with elements of dystopian sort of themes that also appear through them. Then you'll really enjoy this collection. And some of the writing, it's very, you can tell that Ted really loves his science, because there's a lot of scientific terms that I had to look up because I'm not really sciencey minded. And there's a lot of sort of, there was one story that was really interesting as well, that's called Division by Zero, and that's like very mathematical. It was still really interesting to read, but at points I was like, this is going over my head a bit, because I don't know all these terms, because I'm not minded in this way. But it's still a really good read, and if you stick with it, there's a story in here for everyone, and I think it was definitely worth it. So definitely get this book if you want to read something different. Anyway, the next story I'm hoping to read is, actually, it's not a story, that's a lie. It's a memoir on writing by Stephen King, and that's what my colleagues from my previous apprenticeship, they gave me as a leaving present, which was really lovely, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I think I'm going to go for a bit of non-fiction before I've got so many fiction books that I have to read. So that's going to be my next story. And like I said in other videos, this video isn't going to be edited, so I apologise for my stammering and everything, but I don't have time to edit. So good luck with any writing projects, and I hope you enjoy reading whatever you're reading. Bye.